but we have an exciting pair of teams to show to you today. It is Ducks versus Exult Traplords. If you watched yesterday, you probably saw Ducks. That is the team that consists of Clockwork, the Invite Scout from Tech, and Radio. And facing them will be Exult Traplords, which consists, I believe, I could be getting this wrong, but I believe that is Sam and Trippa. Both players are members of the Exultants TF2 team. They play in ESEA, IM, that is ESEA Intermediate, and they're doing quite well this season. I think they're second place in Intermediate. So, not people to be trifled with. So, this should be a really good, fun match.
It definitely should. And wow, so we got some pretty good players here. Pretty good. Would you consider them pros?
I don't know if there are any pro TF2 players, but
of course there
are among the as close as you can get. And it looks like we are going live.
Alright,
here.
match one here brought to you by AntLion Audio. Keep your headphones at a ModMic.
Alright, so immediately Sam and Trippa getting up onto the point, but Clockwork bullying them off. Starting to get the cap down. No real trades going yet. Trippa's down kind of low, while Clockwork is still quite healthy. Clockwork with a nice double air shot. Very nice. Taking out Trippa, absolutely annihilating him, and Sam just commits suicide, waits for the respawns, and wants to fight this again. And here we go with the refight. Trippa now jumping in. Clockwork not going for the air shot, just opting for the splash damage on the ground. Getting knocked up into the air. Ooh, nice direct from Trippa, but ultimately gets taken out by Clockworks. Oh my goodness! Sam, Clockwork got launched into the air, and Sam with a huge air shot crossbow annihilates him. Trippa jumping back into the point, and the Exult Traplords are going to be able to retake this. But the Uber pop comes out not in time to stop the point, unfortunately, and now it's an Uber trade, which is not something you see super frequently in UltiDuo. But now the blue team, that's Exult, is getting the better of this, and Radio is now really weak. Radio she does get taken out. Clockwork going down quite low. Sam, also really weak, does get taken out by Clockwork, but Trippa is able to clean him up. Stay on the point, wait for his medic to respawn. And now we have all four players back up. Trippa's backing off. Cap is going down a little bit in favor of Clockwork. And they might actually be able to take this without any real exchanges happening. Yeah, Exults chose not to contest the point there. They just let them have it, wanted to get healed up, take this with a 300 buff. Trip is still kind of weak, Clockwork is still sitting at 300. Now the fight's happening on points. Trippa going down real low, 50 HP, just stays still, gets an arrow from his medic. And now the point is getting contested again. Trippa getting launched real high into the air, going for Radio. Radio down to 60 health. Trippa does get taken out, isn't able to pick up Radio. Radio pushed down to 8 health there, is going to go pick up the small health kit. Very nice try by Trippa, but isn't able to complete the frag. And now here we go again. Trippa jumping in, getting some good initial damage onto Clockwork, but taking a bunch himself, gets the Uber Force out, and Sam immediately suicides. So that was the play there. They knew that Clockwork and Radio had Uber. They just wanted to get out, get the Uber forced, and then immediately suicide so that they can fight this. Oh, Trippa had a nice jump in there. Disciplinary action used it. He whipped the medic and then jumped in pretty far, but they're not able to get anything out with it. Trippa immediately goes down and Sam commits suicide just to wait for the respawn. Red has now taken up about 2 minutes off the point, whereas Blue has only taken down a minute. Trip again getting launched into the skybox. Going for the frag on the medic. Isn't really able to do much damage to Radio. Radio was only dropped to about 100 health there. So he didn't really get much accomplished in that wave, so they're going to have to make it happen again. Sam is now complaining about Trippa's performance in chat. Trippa gets Radio down to 16 health. He is forced to pop. Sam immediately commits suicide. That was pretty tough, pretty good milk from Radio, but she is ultimately forced to pop it. Ooh, nice air shot coming out from Trippa. Getting some really good damage on Clockwork. Clockwork is so weak. He's gonna get taken out. Radio trying to go for the Uber saws, but does get taken out. And in fact, Sam did get an Uber saw on that frag, putting him up to 50% Uber. So they're gonna have a nice advantage. So they just need to hold this off once or twice, and they will have full Uber. If the medic dies here, they have a real problem. They just want to hold off this attack, get Uber, and come back in. Sam's at 99%. There it is. The Uber gets forced off. They're gonna reach the point. Radio immediately commits suicide, as does Clockwork. They're just gonna take the point back, and they got the point back, but that wasn't the greatest situation for Exults. They really would have liked to hold off one throw, one incoming attack, and then use the Uber. But they lost cap time off of it and used the Uber for not much. And now the fight's happening again. Pretty even damage right now. Trippa a little weak right now. Gets arrowed from his medic. Gets arrowed again and still gets taken out. Sam going huge with the Uber cells. 95%! Oh, isn't quite able to complete it. Dies with 95% Uber. And the cap is going to go back down for red. It's now 2 minutes remaining for red. 3.5 for blue. So this is looking quite favorable for red at the moment. Seem to be doing quite a bit better right now. The focus fire is going for radio, but they drop radio to 23 HP, but she holds on, is able to keep it alive, and is now going to have her fully recharge to defend off this next assault. So now all they want to do is force the Uber out, not drop any of their players. Right, exactly, and immediately they both commit suicide, wait for the respawn, and now take the fight with no Uber v no Uber. So here we go again. Soldiers jumping in. Both soldiers really weak, but Clockwork finishes off at the end. Actually, Clockwork wasn't actually that weak here. Damaging, surfing damage quite nicely. Is now back to his full 300. Trippa getting up on his 300, whipping out onto the point, jumping in. Clockwork with some nice directions. Trippa juggling him in the air with a shotgun. Trippa quite low. Sam immediately commits suicide, and this is just what's happening in this game. We're gonna see another push here. Whipped out. Not off the jumping point this time. They're just playing around behind the point. Both seem to switch sides. Trippa quite low again, 30 health. Gets a nice arrow from his medic, and now Clockwork. That arrow from Sam really saved Trippa there. He was down to 30 HP, got boosted up to 100, whereas Clockwork wasn't getting the crit heals from the arrows, and just was annihilated by the shotgun of Trippa. So now they're going to be able to take this point back. They still don't have Uber, so they want to hold this off for as long as they can, but they're giving them free time on the point now. Ooh, Clockwork with a nice direct onto Trippa. Trippa down to 98 HP, is going to get arrowed up by his medic. He's now down to 10 HP, paid now, and Sam goes down. Clockwork shotgun. And now it's only 20 seconds remaining on the clock for red. It's do or die time for blue. They need to take this and hold it for 3 minutes. It's a pretty tricky task to ask for. They're not getting anywhere near the point, and now with only 10 seconds left, they would be hard pressed to even jump onto the point in this amount of time.
So,
Sam,
let me ask you this. It's coming to a close. Red team with Clockwork is going to go ahead and take this first point. I've noticed that both of the soldiers are using the original, which is styled, of course, after the rocket launcher free play. What's the advantage of using that? You're obviously more knowledgeable in Team Fortress than I am. What's the advantage of using that rocket launcher over, let's say, anything else?
So the main question is between the original and the stock rocket launcher. They are, in general, the difference is mostly a matter of personal preference. There isn't a huge difference. The one large difference between the two rocket launchers is that the original shoots from the direct center of the screen, whereas the stock rocket launcher will shoot from the right side of the screen. What this means is that certain corners with the original you can shoot around to the left, whereas the stock rocket launcher you can't shoot around to the left because it's already coming out of the right of your screen. In this case, there aren't really many corners for them to pick, so it's really just what the player is comfortable using. It doesn't make a lot of difference. There are some subtle differences with how you do rocket jumps. Ooh, Clockwork with a nice air shot there, knocking Trippa back down. Trippa's getting kind of weak. They're just playing this great here, trying to play the health packs. Ham's still pretty healthy. The Uber does get forced out. Sam immediately suicides. Trip jumping back in. That's a good rocket onto Clockwork, but Clockwork returns with a direct of his own. And Trip actually craters there from that fall damage, and Sam immediately committing suicide. Alright, Trippa coming back in. Ooh, get a nice air shot from Clockwork, pushing him back into the ground. Trippa actually has the health advantage right now for a moment. He is going to be able to pick up Clockwork. Surprising. Clockwork did have that nice air shot, but Trippa was just hitting everything else, whereas Clockwork wasn't quite hitting things as well. And the point goes back in favor of Blue. That's their first capture in this second round. They now are taking 5 seconds off the clock, whereas a minute and a half has come off for Red. Fight is happening again. Trippa, again, quite weak. Clockwork down to 50 HP. The shotgun battle. Super awkward. Clockwork down to 7 health. He is going to get taken out. Is Trippa going to crater here? Not quite. Down to 40 HP. Sam manages to no Uber off of Radio. Radio is still alive here. Is probably going to just try to survive, and she ends up suiciding really late. So Radio there... Okay, so it works out for them in the end, as Clockwork is able to force the Uber out. But Radio stayed alive there for a while, and just died super late. And so then she delayed her spawn with Clockwork, and made things a little out of joints. But Clockwork did manage to come and force the Uber, putting the advantage back in Red's hands. The Uber saws, 2 Uber saws coming out of Sam, 3 Uber saws, and dies with the Uber, unfortunately. And Red is going to recap this point. Blue was able to get about a minute off the point there, which is pretty good. So Blue is going to jump in with the whip-assisted jump here. Just some spam being traded over the top of this point. Neither team wanting to really commit here. And now the commit happens. Clockwork down a bit weaker. Oh, but that's some nice damage. Trippa down to 20 HP. Is still waiting for his arrow from his medic. And now he's still just going to the other side of the medic. But the Uber advantage was firmly in the favor of Clockwork's team, and they just Uber save themselves and keep the points. Trippa jumping in here. Hitting some good initial damage. Ooh, air shot off of Clockwork. Shotgun battle happening, and it goes in favor of Clockwork once again. Sam committing suicide. And here we go again. The whips come out. Very nice jump in there. Clockwork not able to lay the air shot. Trippa with a nice downward direct rocket onto Clockwork, putting him pretty weak. Clockwork down to 30 HP, but getting healed up from his medic. Medic's opting not to arrow him, so he's not getting health nearly as fast as Trippa was there. See, Trippa was already on 300 HP, whereas Clockwork was down to 150. Trippa is shooting some ammo to himself. They cap the point back, and now the time is ticking down for Blue. Red coming out here. Trippa with a nice direct air shot, but Clockwork landing his own direct. Both still just quite weak. Clockwork a lot weaker though. That's 45 HP. Trippa still getting killed. Sam is incredibly weak, but I don't think they realized. Sam was down to 8 HP there. If Clockwork had just put 1 shotgun into him, he would have died immediately. It doesn't matter though, because they both died and are both respawning now. But Red still has the point. That's 2 minutes remaining for Red, 3 minutes for Blue, so this is a little bit closer than last time, I think. Blue immediately bullies them off the points. Clockwork getting launched up. Trippa not landing the air shots. Red playing on the full point. Blue knocking them off a bit. Nice directs from Trippa. Very nice take with a small air shot taking out Clockwork. Radio isn't going to immediately commit suicide here, which means she's therefore delayed their spawn and delay the amount of time that Clockwork has to come out. See, now Clockwork spawned earlier, it had to just sit and spawn waiting for Radio to respawn. She probably should have just immediately suicided. I don't think she was going to get anything there. Yeah, Trippa with a nice air shot. Clockwork down to 100 HP. One more direct from Trippa is going to do this, but oh my goodness, Clockwork boosting the air and Trippa just cratered. I don't really realize how that happened. I thought it was healthier than that. And Sam, of course, immediately commits suicide. Trippa coming out. Clockwork missing air shots. Some good damage on Trippa. Trippa is going to get taken out. Sam going for the uber soft frags. Nice surf there, but is going to be taken out by the shotgun. And here we go again. The whip's coming out. Jump. Clockwork missing the air shots. Both soldiers getting launched up there. Trippa quite high. The uber does force out. They immediately commit suicide. Successful push. They got the uber out. They suicide. They re-push with equal advantage. Here comes the whip assisted jump again. Clockwork hitting a nice direct, putting Trippa back into the ground. Clockwork still a nice 300 HP. Trippa that only has 200, getting healed up by his medic. Trippa really quite weak now. They're just going to play this passive, just try to get the heals at their advantage, but Clockwork, even though he's boosted up, Sam got it some nice uber saws onto Clockwork and thought he was going to be able to clinch it there for a second, but isn't able to pull anything off. And they're still spawning at the same time, so the medic play looking really good from Sam here, but as opposed to radio. Trippa again, quite weak. Sam just immediately dies. And now it's only 20 seconds remaining for red. Blue has got to get out in here and hold it for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's quite a bit to ask, especially when things haven't been going quite in their favor. Uber gets forced out. They immediately die. Trippa's got to survive here because the Uber got forced out in 10 seconds. So theoretically, if he had survived there, he would have had 2 seconds to contest the point at the end. But now they've still got some time on point, so they can jump back in and maybe contest this. Sam coming in with the needles, trying to take matters into his own hands. Trippa launch sky high, does crater, and the point decaps, and that is a 2-0 in favor of Ducks. Well played to both teams.
Definitely a good game. Clockwork and radio taking this 2-0. And this second round seemed like a little bit closer to the last one, but again, Clockwork with his rockets and radio just doing a good job.
Absolutely, absolutely.